Hey everybody, KC here. So I don't know if you saw this in the news the other day. It certainly caught me by surprise. But in the third quarter of this year, more Mustang Mach-E's were sold than the traditional gas-powered model, like the one you see behind me. Although that's 12 years old, that's my baby. And that really caught me by surprise. And it wasn't even by a little, it was by a lot. More than twice as many Mach-E's were sold than traditional gas-powered Mustangs. Not entirely unprecedented. During last year, there were just a few more Mach-E's sold than traditional Mustangs. And one of the reasons there was a lot of movement in the third quarter is that the current administration has canceled the tax advantages of having an electric vehicle. And so people were moving pretty quickly to get one. Certainly it speaks to a kind of interest that people have in electric vehicles, and I have to give it to Ford. I was a little bit skeptical when they first did it, but they figured out a way to take this traditional legacy brand that still had a lot of power to it and marry it to this new technology in a way that captured consumers' imaginations. And that's what retailers have to do, right? Figure out what your legacy strengths are and then innovate around that. Be imaginative around that. Do things that are different around it. Be a little trendy, be on trend, focus on what people want now as opposed to what they wanted yesteryear. Now, I'll also say to you that I never really thought the Mach-E was actually a Mustang. I've test driven a couple, and let me tell you, they're terrific, but they're not Mustangs. It's just an SUV that they put a pony badge on the front and they put Mustang lights in the back. But that's fine. Sometimes, that's the marketing move you have to make. Kudos to Ford for figuring that out. My suggestion again to retailers is figure out how you can marry the old to the new in a way that's really going to appeal to consumers. Meanwhile, one thing hasn't changed, which is they'll pry my standard transmission out of my hands when they pry it from my cold, dead fingers. I love that car. And driving a Mach-E, as terrific as it was, never going to be exactly the same thing. Anyway, that's what's on my mind. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.